Hello friends, a very warm welcome to the Crochet Hook channel. See, today we have this absolutely beautiful and so colorful crochet mobile sling bag that we're going to work together. And here I have added this flap and this button to fasten it off, and have a look on all the sides. This is the back side of the sling bag, and this flap is attached here. And I've added this strap to the bag, and simply I've sewn it on the sides of the bag. I have already shared the pattern of this beautiful strap on my channel and given the link for the same in the description box and also in the iCard. See how textured it looks. It is so awesome on all the sides. You can keep any side for the front, and you simply have to sew it on the side of your bag to give it a beautiful finished look. And here is the textured bottom of our sling bag. Let's have a look on the inside of this bag. This is how it looks on all the sides. It's a simple pattern to work with. Now let's understand a little about the pattern. So this pattern, this shell pattern, is a 2-row repeat. Row 1 and 2 is repeated over and over to reach the desired length of your pouch. This is the base of the bag, and here is the foundation row, and then row 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 is repeated over and over till you reach the desired length. The length of this sling bag is around 18 centimeters, completely unstretched, and the width is around 10 centimeters here. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. That really inspires, motivates, and keeps us connected, as you get a notification each time I post on my channel. So let's get ahead with the pattern. So here I have taken this Hobby India crochet thread that is 100% acrylic yarn, and I have chosen 2 shades. This is off-white and this is the peach shade. And I'll be running a double thread, so I have taken 2 balls of each. Nextly, a crochet hook of 3.0 millimeters, a pair of scissors, few stitch markers, a needle and a sewing thread, and you may need a ruler. I have taken these stylish buttons to put on my sling bag. So let's get ahead and crochet this beautiful bag together. So here to begin with, let's work a slip knot. This is how I work my slip knots. This is the easiest way. Just grab the yarn through this loop, tighten it all up. The slip knot is worked simply, and now we'll begin chaining. So we're going to work 19 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. So here I have worked all my 19 chains, then yarn over and skip 4 chains from the hook, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Insert the hook into the 5th chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. 1 DC is worked. First chain 4 also stands for a DC, so we have 2 DCs worked. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain ahead, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, then yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. 1 more DC is worked. Yarn over again into the next chain, work 1 DC the same way. Yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. Simple. We have 4 DCs worked, and henceforth we are simply going to work 1 DC into every chain ahead. So just keep working 1 DC into all the chains that are remaining. Yarn over, work 1 DC into the next chain, and keep working DCs. I'll see you here at the end. So here I have almost reached the end. So yarn over, and this last chain also simply work 1 DC here like this. So here we have, counting first chain 3 also, first chain 4 also as a DC, we have 16 DCs worked. Let's put the markers. So put the marker in this, just work the last DC, and in this beginning chain 3 also at the top of it put a marker to recognize the 2 stitches well. And now we have 16 DCs from this marker till the next marker. Then yarn over into the same chain where you just created this DC, insert the hook, and we are going to work 8 DCs into the same chain. So work 8 DCs after the marker in the same chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So after the marker, in the same chain, in the same last chain, we have worked 8 DCs here. And now we'll work one more DC into the same chain, into the last chain here. And here, grab a marker and put this marker into this last stitch that's just created. This is the beginning of the next row of DCs on the other side, on this side. We'll be creating DCs again. See, we have loops here. At the base of the DCs that we just created on the other end, we have these loops. As you can see at the base of the DCs that were worked there. So we are going to work nextly into these loops. Simple. All the way till the end. So we have worked the first DC of the row and put the marker in it, yarn over into the next loop ahead, insert the hook and work 1 DC. This is our first DC of the row. We have worked 2 DCs. Now yarn over into the next loop that's showing up, work 1 DC into it. Yarn over, work 1 DC into the next loop ahead. Yarn over, work 1 DC into the next loop ahead. Work 1 DC into the next loop ahead. We're simply going to work 1 DC into every loop till we reach the end. Again, work 1 DC into the next loop. Work 1 DC into the next loop. Work 1 DC into the next loop. Work 1 DC into the next loop ahead. Yarn over, work 1 DC into the next loop ahead. Work 1 DC into the next loop that's showing up. Yarn over. A couple more to do. So just work 1 DC into the next loop ahead. Work 1 DC in the next loop. And in the second last DC also work 1 DC. Now we have reached this beginning chain 4. So yarn over in this 4th chain that is at the bottom of this chain 4 here. Insert the hook and work 1 DC. Again we have created this DC atop this DC here, and from this marker till this last DC that's just been worked, these are 16 DCs on this end as well, just juxtaposed to the other 16 DCs on the other end. See? So here from this marker till this marker we have 16 DCs. From this marker till this marker we have 16 DCs, and between these two markers on this edge we have 8 DCs in between. And now again we'll create 8 DCs between these two markers as well. So grab the yarn, back again, and into the same 4th chain here in which we worked this last DC, in which we put the marker, insert the hook and work 8 DCs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So on this end also between the two markers we have 8 DCs worked in the round. Now in this top 3rd chain, insert the hook, pull up a loop, work a slip stitch to join this round here. This is the base of the back that we are working. And now here just flip it over so that the back side of this panel is showing you, and stretch that loop and see we have this chain 3 here. From the back side at the top of this chain 3, at the top chain, insert the hook and grab that loop, and through the hook just bring it onto the back side of this chain 3 at the top of it. See, this is the front side and this is the back side. At the top of the chain 3 we have just drawn the loop on this side. Remove the marker here and then we'll begin on this side. So work 3 chains, 1, 2 and 3. This first chain 3 stands as a DC here, and then yarn over around the next DC below. Insert the hook from front to back to front, around it like this as shown. Then yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull to first 2 loops, yarn over, pull to the remaining 2 loops, 1 front post double crochet is worked. So we have, counting first chain 3 also as a FPDC, we have 2 FPDCs worked. Put a marker back in this top 3rd chain to mark this beginning, and then again yarn over around the next DC below, insert the hook from front to back to front and work it like a DC. 1 FPDC is worked. Yarn over around the next DC below, work 1 FPDC the same way, front post double crochet. Yarn over around the next DC, insert the hook from front to back to front, around it pull up a loop, yarn over and work it like a DC. Simple. We are simply working 1 FPDC into every DC below. Around the next DC, work 1 FPDC the same way. Simple. Yarn over around the next DC below, work 1 FPDC, front post double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook from front to back to front around the next DC below and work 1 FPDC. Yarn over again around the next DC. See, we have marker in this DC, so just work 1 FPDC around this DC as well. Remove the marker and put that marker in this newly formed DC here. This is the beginning of this side of DCs in a row. So then yarn over, will work all the 16 FPDCs in this row and then work 1 FPDC around every DC below all the way around. So just yarn over and again begin working 1 FPDC around every DC ahead, simple round, and just like this, see, we have 3 FPDCs worked. Keep working, and when you reach this marker here, work 1 FPDC and put the marker in that FPDC to mark that stitch. Simply keep working 1 FPDC atop every DC and reach the end. I'll see you here at the end. So here I have worked all my FPDCs all the way round, see, and have reached the end. Just 2 more to go. So yarn over around the second last DC below. Simply work 1 FPDC around it the same way. Then yarn over, work 1 FPDC around this last DC that's showing up in this row. And then we have this chain 3, the beginning chain 3. So insert the hook in this top 3rd chain beneath the 2 strands. Pull up a loop, work a slip stitch to join this round here. See, this is the base of the bag that's getting ready here. This is how it looks. So then we want to move 2 stitches ahead. So into the next DC, work 1 slip stitch, then stretch this loop up from the back side, insert your hook into the next DC and grab this loop again with your hook and take it out onto the back side of this panel. We want to work on that side. So now I've turned it on this side where we have a loop now, and so we moved 2 stitches back after the chain 3. Work 1 chain and insert the hook into the same stitch, work 1 SC here. And now we'll work in this row, in this edge that we have just worked with FPDCs. So then yarn over and skip 3 stitches below, insert the hook into the 4th FPDC below, and we are going to work 9 DCs here. 1, then yarn over, work 1 more DC into this, 2, we're going to work 9 DCs into this 4th stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 more, 9. So in this 4th stitch, we created 9 DCs. A shell is created here. See? Now, skip next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, insert the hook into the 4th FPDC and work 1 SC there. Now, yarn over, skip next 3 stitches below, insert the hook into the 4th stitch, and again we are going to work 9 DCs here. So just keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 more, 9 here. So we have worked a shell again, see? And now skip 3 stitches, insert the hook into the 4th stitch and work 1 SC like this. See, on this row we have created 2 shells, and now we'll just work the same pattern all the way around. So then grab your loop and again skip 3 stitches and yarn over, insert the hook into the 4th stitch ahead on this edge and work 9 DCs into this 4th stitch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Again we have created a shell on this end. See, this is how it looks. This is on the width side of this base of the bag, and again skip 3 stitches below, take out the marker, we don't need them now, and skip 3 stitches below, insert the hook into the 4th stitch and here work 1 SC. And now we'll work shells on this edge. So yarn over, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3, insert the hook into the 4th stitch and work 9 DCs here to create a shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Again a shell is created. See, now skip 3 stitches below, 1, 2 and 3, insert the hook into the 4th stitch below and work 1 SC, single crochet here, then yarn over, skip 3 stitches again, 1, 2 and 3, insert the hook into the 4th stitch ahead and work 9 DCs here. 1, we are creating 1 shell here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. A shell is created again. See, this is how it looks. Again skip 3 stitches below, insert the hook in the 4th stitch below, work 1 SC, and we have just reached the end. So on this edge also skip 3 stitches again after this SC and yarn over, insert the hook into the 4th stitch and here again create a shell. So work 9 DCs in this 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. A shell is created on this end as well. See, this is how it's coming up. This is the foundation row of shells. This is the last shell that we have just created, and to end this round here, skip 3 stitches ahead, 1, 2 and 3, and see we have this beginning SC here. Insert the hook into this SC, single crochet beneath the 2 strands, pull up a loop, work a slip stitch to join this round here. This is the foundation row of shells that we have just worked. This is the base of the bag coming up so beautiful. Now we'll begin with our pattern rows. So we'll just be working in rounds. This is how it looks on all the sides. So let's get ahead with the pattern. Here I have put the knot and cut that extra thread. Secure the knot well. Here I have gotten this another shade, this off-white shade, and into the same SC below, insert the hook and bring this new shade out of it. Throw it like this. Then work 4 chains, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn over, again insert the hook into the same SC below, pull up a loop and work 1 DC. First chain 3 here stand for 1 DC, and next 1 chain is the 1 chain gap, a V stitch is created. Then work 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we have this shell ahead in the row below. Skip that, and after that shell we have this SC here. Insert the hook, yarn over and insert the hook into this SC, pull up a loop and work 1 DC, 1 double crochet then work 1 chain, yarn over, insert the hook into the same SC below, work 1 more double crochet here like this. Again a V stitch is created. Simply creating V stitches into the SC, and we skip the shell, working chain 5 above it. So work 5 chains, yarn over, skip the shell below, and we have this SC here, yarn over, insert the hook into the SC, pull up a loop, work 1 DC, 1 double crochet here, then work 1 chain, then yarn over, work 1 more DC into the same SC below. We have created a V stitch again. See, this is how it looks. Again work 5 chains here, skip the shell below. Across the shell we have this SC here, down below, yarn over, insert the hook into the SC again, pull up a loop, work 1 DC, we are working a V stitch again, then work 1 chain, then yarn over, work 1 more double crochet into the same SC below. A V stitch is created. Again work 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, yarn over, skip the next shell below, insert the hook into the next SC, pull up a loop, work 1 double crochet here. We are creating a V stitch, then work 1 chain, then yarn over, work 1 more double crochet into the same single crochet below. Simple. Chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, skip the next shell below, yarn over in this next SC below, insert the hook, work 1 double crochet, then work 1 chain, yarn over, work 1 more double crochet into the single crochet below. A V stitch is created, just 1 more shell to go. So then work 5 chains after the V stitch, skip the shell below, and see, we have this V stitch. In the very beginning we worked 4 chains, so insert the hook in this top 3rd chain and work a slip stitch to join this round here. Round 1 gets completed. For the round 2, insert the hook into this chain 1 space of the V stitch, work a slip stitch here, then work 3 chains, 1, 2 and 3. This first chain 3 stands as a DC, then yarn over, insert the hook into the same chain 1 space of the V stitch below and work 1 DC, yarn over. We have 2 DCs now. Again work 1 DC into the chain 1 space below, 3, work 1 more DC into the same V stitch, 4, work 1 more DC here, 5, work 1 more DC into the same chain 1 space of the V stitch, 6, yarn over, work 1 more DC here, 7, yarn over, work 1 more DC in the same chain 1 space below, yarn over, work 1 more DC into the same chain 1 space of the V stitch below, 9. So here, counting first chain 3 also as a DC, we have 9 DCs worked. Then see, we have this shell below. Into this 5th DC of the shell, insert the hook, and also around this chain 5, underneath it and around it, pull up a loop and work 1 single crochet like this. Simple. Now we have a V stitch ahead, yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 1 space of the V stitch, and here work 9 DCs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So we worked 9 DCs. We created a shell here in this V stitch just like this previous one, and then in this shell below, into its 5th DC, insert the hook, and also around this chain 5, pull up a loop around both of them and simply work 1 single crochet like this at the top of this shell below. This is how it looks. We are simply creating 9 DC shells into every V stitch, and we are working 1 single crochet into the 5th DC of the shell below and also around the chain 5, and simply repeating the same pattern over and over. So after this single crochet here, we'll again work the same pattern all the way round. See here, I have completed all my 6 shells all the way round, and to end this round 2 here, after this last shell, we have the shell below. So insert the hook in the 5th DC of this shell, and also around the chain 5 and pull up a loop, work 1 single crochet here atop the shell, and then to end this round here, insert the hook in this 3rd chain and work a slip stitch to join this round here. 2 rounds get completed here. Put a knot and cut the thread. Secure the knot well, sewing the loose ends on the inside of the same shade here. Now we'll go for the round 3. Round 3 is just like round 1. So I'll bring in the other shade here in the same single crochet below where we ended this round here. So simply bring in the new shade, the new color through this single crochet, grab the yarn and pull it through this, and then work 4 chains, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are going to work a V-stitch here again. So yarn over, again insert the hook into the same single crochet below, pull up a loop and work 1 DC. Here first chain 3 stands for a DC, next chain 1 is the chain 1 gap. A V-stitch is created. Now work 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Skip the shell below, and across this shell we have this SC here, single crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook into this single crochet, work 1 DC, then work 1 chain. Yarn over, work 1 more DC into the same single crochet below. 1 V-stitch is created again. See, we are simply creating the round 1 here. The same pattern is there. This pattern is simply a 2-row repeat. Then work 5 chains and across this shell into this SC, yarn over, insert the hook and work 1 double crochet. Then work 1 chain, yarn over, work 1 more double crochet into the single crochet below. Simple. And just keep following the same pattern all the way round till you reach the end. See here, I have worked this round all the way up and just reach the end. Let's end it together. So after this last set of chain 5 here, insert the hook in this top 3rd chain, 1, 2 and 3. Pull up a loop and work 1 slip stitch to join this round here. This round 3 is just like round 1. For the next round, insert the hook into this chain 1 space of the V-stitch, work a slip stitch, then work 3 chains. This first chain 3 stands for a DC, yarn over again into the same chain 1 space here, work 8 more DCs, 1, 2, 3, we are working double crochets, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Counting first chain 3 also as the DC, we have 9 DCs for the shell worked here. Now in the shell below, in its 5th DC here, insert the hook and also around the chain 5. Beneath and under it, around it, pull up a loop, work 1 single crochet atop the shell. Then yarn over again and we have a V-stitch ahead. Insert the hook in the chain 1 space of the V-stitch here and work 9 DCs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. One more time, we have created a shell with 9 DCs, and then in the shell below, in its 5th DC, insert the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, insert the hook, and also around this chain 5, pull up a loop around them and work 1 single crochet here like this. This round is just like round 2 below, and just work a shell in the V-stitch and then work 1 SC into the 5th DC of the shell below and also around the chain 5 that is running above the shell. Again create a shell and then work 1 SC here. Keep repeating this all the way round, and I'll see you at the end here. See, I have worked this round all the way up and reached the end. To end this round here again, after this shell, this last shell that's been created, insert the hook in this 5th DC and also around the chain 5, pull up a loop, work 1 single crochet here, then We have this first chain 3, insert the hook in this top third chain, pull up a loop, work 1 slip stitch to join this round here. Put a knot and cut the thread to change the shade. Simple. And wherever we have these loose ends, just sew them into their respective shades on the inside. See, this is how it's coming up. So beautiful this case is looking. And I have worked 4 rows, 4 rounds with you. Here round 1 and round 3 is similar. Round 2 and round 4 is similar. Just keep repeating. Round 1 and round 2, that is the main pattern of this case, till you reach the desired length. This is round 1, round 2, and again I have repeated this one more time with you for more clarity. So just reach the length that you wish. So here after this foundation row, I have worked it till a total of 22 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And this is the length that I'm aiming for. I have reached my desired length. So here I have slipped this last round also. Put a knot and cut the thread. Secure it tightly and sew in the loose ends into the same shade on the inside. So this pouch is as such ready. So here I have this bag ready and we have this back strap. I have already posted the pattern of this back strap on my channel. Please check that out. I have given the link in the description box. Grab your needle and thread and place this end of the strap onto the edge of the bag where you want to fix it. And we're going to put gentle stitches. So keep a little thread on the inside, a little loose end. We'll need to tie it later on. So then just put gentle stitches through the strap into the bag, then through the bag into the strap, and don't stretch them at all. Just keep putting gentle to and fro stitches and work small stitches. So I've hand sewn this end of the strap with the bag. On the inside here, I'll just put a couple of knots here. And I'll take it out near that loose end that we had left earlier. And then tie the 2 threads together. Secure with sturdy, strong knots. Keeping a little tail, cut that extra thread. And sew these loose ends in this pink shade or into the same color they belong to. Just like this end is attached on this end of the bag, sew this other end with the bag on this side as well. So to begin the flap, again I have taken this 2 thread in cream shade and put a slip knot first, and then we'll begin chaining. So work 15 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Then hold it here. We'll work 3 more chains after working 15 chains. So then here, hold it here, then work 3 more chains. 1, 2 and 3. Then yarn over, skip 3 chains into the 4th chain, insert the hook and work 1 DC. Like this. First chain 3 also stands for a DC. Yarn over into the next chain ahead, work 1 DC. Yarn over into the next chain ahead, work 1 DC. Simply work 1 DC into every chain till you reach the very end. See, I have worked my DCs into every chain. Just this last chain also, I'll work 1 DC to end this row here. We have 16 DCs worked including first chain 3 also. Then work 2 chains and turn the work, yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch and work 1 HDC. Yarn over into the next stitch, work 1 half double crochet. Yarn over into the next stitch below, work 1 HDC. Yarn over into the next stitch, work 1 HDC. Just work 1 HDC till you reach the other end. See, I have reached this second last DC on this end. Into the second last DC also I'll work 1 HDC. Then we have this DC here, the last DC. Yarn over around this DC. Insert the hook and work 5 HDCs. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we worked 5 HDCs around this DC, then yarn over between the next 2 DCs inside the hook and work 1 HDC. Yarn over between the next 2 stitches, work 1 HDC. So just work 1 HDC into every neck space available till you reach the other end. Simply reach the end here. Simply work it till the second last DC here. And we have this chain 3 here on this end. Yarn over around this chain 3. Again we'll work 5 HDCs. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And to end this round here, insert the hook in this top second chain or around it and simply work a slip stitch to join this round here. We have these loose ends, sew them at the back. So here I have taken this next shade that I'm going to attach, and I have taken a double thread, put a slip knot and stretch that loop, and in the stitch where we have just put the knot, insert the hook and grab this loop through this stitch to take it out on this side like this. We are just simply attaching a new shade here. Then work 2 chains, 1 and 2, and then yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch below, and we are going to work 2 HDCs here. So insert the hook and work 1 HDC, then yarn over, work 1 more HDC into the same stitch. We have worked 2 half double crochets here. Yarn over into the next stitch below, again work 1 HDC. Yarn over into the next stitch below, work 1 HDC. Nextly, we are just working 1 HDC till we have a total of 14 HDCs worked. From this, just working 1 HDC into every stitch ahead till we have 14 individually worked HDCs. Just like this, just carry on till you have 14 HDCs worked. Now, see, I have finished all my 14 HDCs. 1 HDC into every stitch ahead till I had 14, and now yarn over, we have this curve here into the first stitch here. After the 14th stitch, work 2 HDCs in the next stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch and work 2 HDCs, 1 and 2. We are working the curve. Yarn over into the next stitch below, work 2 HDCs, 1 and 2. Yarn over, work 2 HDCs into the next stitch ahead, 1 and 2. Yarn over into the next stitch ahead, work 2 HDCs, 1 and 2. Then yarn over and into the next stitch below, insert the hook and work 1 HDC. Now we'll again be working 1 HDC into every stitch ahead. Into next stitch, insert the hook, work 1 half double crochet. Into the next stitch again, work 1 half double crochet. So we have 3 half double crochets worked. Just like this, keep working till you have 14 HDCs worked in the row. Simply work 1 HDC into every HDC till you reach here. You should have 14 HDCs that are individually worked. See, I have worked till here, just 1 more to go. Then yarn over into this 14th stitch, I'll work 1 HDC. And now again the curve is there on this end. Into the next stitch, after 14 HDCs worked individually, into the next stitch here, work 2 HDCs, 1 and 2. Simple. Yarn over into the next stitch, work 2 HDCs, 1 and 2. And on this end here, we'll be working a loop for the button that I've chosen. So here I'll go for 4 chains, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So work 4 chains, and across this 3 stitches, skip the 3 stitches below, and we have this chain 2 here. Yarn over and insert the hook in this same stitch where we work chain 2, work 1 HDC here like this. Then around this chain 2, insert the hook and work 1 slip to join this round here. So here we'll just go for 1 more round around it. So work 1 chain and into the same stitch, insert the hook and work 1 SC, single crochet here like this. Then into the next stitch below, work 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, work 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, work 1 single crochet. And just like this, just keep working 1 single crochet into every stitch ahead till you reach this single worked HDC below, till here. See, I have worked one SC atop every HDC below till here, till we have the single HDC below. Now we have two HDCs worked in this curve. So here in the first stitch of this pair, work one SC. In the next stitch of this pair of HDCs, work two SC, 1 and 2. Simple. In the next pair, in the first stitch below, work one single crochet. In the next stitch below, work two single crochets, 1 and 2. Again, we have a pair ahead. Work one single crochet in the first stitch. Work two single crochets into the next stitch, 1 and 2. Simple. Again, we have a pair ahead. Into the next stitch, work one single crochet. Into the next stitch of the pair, work two SCs, 1 and 2, two single crochets. Again, we have a pair here. Work one SC into the next stitch below, and we are simply again going to work one SC ahead. So, into the next stitch also simply work one single crochet. Into the next stitch, work one single crochet. Into the next stitch, work one single crochet. Just like this, move till you reach the other end where we have this single HDC worked in the row below. So just keep working one single crochet into every half double crochet below, like this. Simple. Till this single HDC here before we begin with the pair. So I have worked all my, this one more to go in this last HDC also. I'll work my one single crochet here. Then we have pairs ahead. Inside the hook, in the first stitch, work one single crochet. In the next stitch, work two single crochets, 1 and 2. In this pair, work one single crochet in the first stitch, work two single crochets in the next HDC below, 1 and 2. And then we have this chain 4 ahead. Into this chain 4 space around it, work 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we have two HDCs below. Into the first HDC, work one single crochet. Into the next HDC also simply work one single crochet like this. Now we have this chain 2, the beginning chain 2, around it. Inside the hook, pull up a loop, work a slip stitch to join this round of SCs here. This gets completed. We have this buttonhole on this end. Let's see if a button passes through it. This is the size of my button. According to it, I have given 4 chains here. You can increase or decrease the number of chains, and accordingly you can work the SCs here. So then put a knot here and cut the thread. Secure the knot well and secure this loose end at the back side of the same shade. We have this flap ready. Secure it on the back side in the same shade, and nextly we are going to attach this flap to our bag. So here we have our flap with this buttonhole in the front ready. Keeping this buttonhole on the front side, place it centralized around the bag like this and keep it in the front. And on the back side here, I have taken a small portion of this and we'll simply sew it from here till here. And so on the inside here, we'll begin sewing it on inside. So I've taken this thread and the needle, and on this end, we'll begin sewing it. Keep a little loose end to tie the knot later on. And just work to and fro light stitches. Like this. Then on this side, keeping it flat like this, it will be easy to work on this side. Just put gentle stitches like this. So here I have reached on this end of this flap. I have spun that entire curve with the bag, and here on this end with this shell I'll just put a few stitches through the flap with this shell of the bag to secure it here well. And see, I am putting such small stitches here, and because I'm working with the pink shade, I'm only inserting my needle in this through this pink shade of the flap, so it's not showing up on the front as well. And having secured it well here, I'll just pass my needle onto this end where we have our loose end already present there, and I'll secure this end of this flap also well with the shell of the bag. Just a couple of stitches here, small stitches to secure this end, and then tie the two threads together, secure them properly, putting a couple of knots here like this. Leaving a little tail, cut that extra thread. We have these loose ends, sew them in their respective shades neatly. So we have sewn this flap, and now we want to place this button in the right place. So just locate the place for the button like this, and grab your needle and thread, and in this shell I have to sew this button. So from the inside I'll take my thread out on this side, that very spot where I located, and keep a little thread on the inside. Then just grab your button, pass it through this thread, and simply work a small stitch, taking this needle onto the inside. We simply want to attach it. One more time, take out the thread, 1 or 2 stitches will be enough, and through the button, then into the bag on the inside, and that's enough. We have 2 threads. Just tie the knot really properly well, leaving a little tail, cut that extra thread, and we have these loose ends here. Simply sew them in the same shade they belong to. Our button is properly, nicely added neatly to our bag here, and so flap is ready as well. Simply button your bag like this. See how beautiful it looks. So our beautiful bag, sling bag, is ready. We have this sturdy handle already added to the bag, the flap, the back side of the bag, so elegantly worked, and this is the front side. So here our beautiful shelled crochet mobile sling bag gets ready. Have fun learning, have fun crocheting. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. Much love to you all.